and Turning Stinkies. I hope you guys are doing great today. If you're new, hello, I'm Kruzadar. I'm a variety creator here on YouTube, and today I kind of wanted to talk about the TikTok ban that's going on. If you haven't seen, it's been going back and forth. I mean, they've been talking about wanting to do it, obviously, for the last, really 2 years. Pushing 3 almost. Because I remember them talking about it when my TikTok account was even blowing up over COVID and stuff. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about my opinions and stuff on it, coming from somebody that blew up on the platform and has also been blacklisted from the platform. So, just kind of go over my thoughts and opinions on things with the TikTok ban. Kind of to give you my history of my account. I was the first gaming account to blow up on TikTok. I was the first person that started doing mobile game, just the reaction editing format that you see generally now on TikTok. And there's a lot of bullshit I've gone through between TikTok and dealing with people on TikTok. And so it's kind of given me another perspective of things that kind of what the platform does very poorly, and then what the platform does very well. And yeah, so some of the big reasons people or in the government is wanting to ban it is because they feel like there's an issue with freedom of speech. TikTok definitely censors things. They also can just hit a switch on your account and fuck it up. There's also been rampant issues with accounts for a long time where once you reach a certain age of your account, they just start mass unfollowing people from your account. And there's nothing you can do about it. People can refollow. They won't be allowed to refollow. They'll be forced to unlike your videos, things like that. So massive bugs like those exist. TikTok has removed features such as being able to pin comments. That used to be a thing, and I firmly believe they removed that feature because they noticed there was less comments. The only way you can kind of pin a comment is if you make a video reacting to it. And even then, it can sometimes get thrown in a different order. This was a feature they used to have. Instagram still has it. I wish Twitter used to still have it. But it's really weird things like that. I've talked about before too, their moderation on that website has been very poor. When I first started uploading gaming videos, I constantly had to appeal every single video because I was uploading a Call of Duty video and there was a gun in it, I was being flagged as having violent posts on the platform. Stuff like that. So I would have to wait sometimes a day or longer to get the review on things like that. I also had to deal with people false flagging my account constantly and having to deal with that. Almost every video would have to be reviewed because people were reporting it for nudity and things like that. That was really, really big, especially while my account was blowing up in 2019, 2020 time, which is freaking insane. But no, here's the thing. I love TikTok. I'm very grateful for what I've gone through with it, but there's very weird experiences I've had with that platform. I didn't have to sign an NDA for anything with this, but when my stuff was blowing up, I was in a call, and basically what happened was I didn't hand over all the information they wanted, and then all of a sudden my account started acting up. I've tried to get help with new reps over the years, and the minute I asked them if it can be slightly just investigated what was going on there, because anytime someone would investigate it, all of a sudden they're not allowed to talk to me anymore. And that literally still happens. And I'm really surprised that issue is not more known by people in general. It's very weird. I'm a very straightforward person. I have the receipts of everything of losing millions of followers back in 2021, 2020, by the month, by the way. But I was gaining so much because my account was viral at the time. But stuff like that was going on. People constantly complaining. I have records of screenshots. I actually stopped screenshotting things because there was that many comments over issues that were going on. But yeah, it's weird stuff. So there is definitely a censorship aspect that people don't quite comprehend. Now, to be fair, any social media platform can do that. And I don't think that's fair. If just because someone at a company doesn't like someone doesn't mean they should be able to hit a switch on the account. If it's reported that there's stuff like that going on, I feel like it should almost be something that changes with the government in general with an FCC complaint. I know that you can do it just kind of if you have internet issues and things like that. I do feel like social media should kind of be held to that standard of, hey, this account all of a sudden you shouldn't be allowed to be blacklisted, essentially. If you can't ban the account, why are you censoring the account? However, Instagram is notoriously horrible at this as well. Instagram, if you use one too many hashtags, if you don't use the right amount of hashtags, which is changing, by the way, almost every week or every other week, sometimes daily they push changes for stuff like that, your account then gets blacklisted. It's the biggest reason I do not use the hashtag system on Instagram, even though they push you to do it, because if you use the wrong combination of hashtags, and if you use too many big hashtags and too many small hashtags, it's crazy. It's insane. It shouldn't have to be that complicated. That, I do feel like, is another form of censorship. You shouldn't have to force people to use a very specific set of hashtags to be able to be posting and their videos to get pushed to people. Twitter, I feel like definitely also is not in a great state either with freedom of speech, in my personal opinion. Bots are rampant on the platform. I firmly believe that a lot of the radical bullshit that gets posted, not all, there's definitely some people that are real, but there is so much proof, especially right before presidential elections happen, that there's bot accounts that just they wait and they act like they're normal posting, and then there's a switch that people, and it does happen from other countries. There's a bunch of cybersecurity people that have talked about this over years. So you have that issue too, where it's like, Twitter definitely censors things. They push, and they have it coded in their algorithm to push negative content. There's like not much winning. I also will say too, though, that out of all the platforms, in my opinion, Instagram even included, the attention rate is the worst on TikTok. The worst. I'll give an example of what I experienced when my account was blowing up. I posted a video simply saying, because I was getting mass spammed by my followers at the time, that there was some guys saying that essentially to hate on me because I was doing the format that I was, and that they invented it and not me, which I didn't really give two shits about. So I simply said, but the fact that they were lying. So I was like, dude, just give credit. Like, one, stop lying, give credit where it's due. And why are you being weird about it? Like, essentially that's just what it talked about. And I tried to word it eloquently and take my time with it. And this was back when you could only max upload a minute video on TikTok. I had those same guys go under that video, and to also other males go under that video who didn't watch the video and say, fuck you for saying we can't use that format. That was never anything I said. The video was less than a minute long, and it is still a problem, the worst in my opinion, on TikTok. People's attention span is so bad. So while, here's the thing, you add that on top of kids, and it's insane. It is very scary. It's crazy. So that happens to everything that gets posted on that platform. You shouldn't have, so you add on top of not being able to pin a comment, people's attention span, and TikTok deliberately removing those filters and lacking moderation filters for years. I think they abuse that shit 100%. Now, the thing is again, other platforms do it too, but like some, I feel like they do censor a bit more than others for things like that. But again, it's hypocritical to go at TikTok for that shit when other platforms also do it. Twitter does it, Instagram does it. Also, Twitter is a form of censorship because if you don't pay, your posts don't get promoted as much. Tell me how that's not a form of censorship. It is. Like, you have to subscribe to get your posts promoted. That's not how that is a form of censorship. I understand that the platform needs money and stuff, but to be that one of the big promoter reasons to get a pay for a Twitter account, I don't agree with that. I understand getting the edit feature or doing things like that, but less ads, which, Jesus Christ, the ads are so bad on Twitter. Oh my God, that and the For You page. Oh my God, I could fucking rant about that. But no, I firmly feel like, again, well, there's a lot of things that I shit on TikTok for, and it really annoys the crap out of me. I think there's things that TikTok should be definitely forced to correct, but I also feel like there's so much good information that has come out of that platform too, that I really feel like that can't be ignored. And also, one of the biggest money makers on TikTok is TikTok Shop. Now, there is a lot of evidence, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this over the last, I would really say, year or two since TikTok Shop came out. TikTok doesn't promote pushing content anymore with like community building like they used to. It's essentially push TikTok Shop, push TikTok shop and we'll promote you. That, and they promote like you have to pay for views on TikTok now, which is weird, like super weird. Like giving that, I understand pushing it to, pushing it to companies to promote their products and stuff, but pushing to get views to the average TikTok user is really weird to me. Like super fucking weird. I'm not saying like it's the end all be all to do it, but that's weird. Why do you have to, like, that's the same as Twitter in my opinion. It's like, that's a form of censorship. You're telling me I have to pay for views to get, like, I understand there's a lot of people on the platform, but that's weird. That's also a form of censorship in my opinion. But no, it's just been, the TikTok For You page is so much different than it used to be over the last year or two. It's so much just TikTok shop bullshit that they try to shove in your face. And also the amount of creators that don't disclose that they're doing a sponsored post and following basic FTC guidelines and they don't get in trouble for it. I don't really get that either, especially when the FTC was cracking down. I'll give you a big example is the makeup side of TikTok. They have problems with that. But all the negative aside, the amount of money small businesses have made is absolutely insane off of TikTok. I really do. And I always say, I buy from so many small companies now just because of TikTok. Like Etsy's like a big reason I find like these smaller places, but all these smaller companies that I never would have found otherwise. Because I mean, think about it, like on Google, when you dig for stuff now, it's like you have AI answers that pop up first now, and then you have like 3 or 4 sponsored posts, and then you have to look under that for the results that you actually want. TikTok, it's like, it actually has a really fairly good algorithm if you go to the TikTok shop page. And it's a lot of small businesses. Now, some people do buy, it's like Temu reposted bullshit on there, but that's like people not taking 2 seconds to look at things. But the amount small businesses have made, I mean, I could be wrong, but it's like I'm quite certain it's in the billions. So TikTok's money is, I mean, huge, and that's part of the reason they push it so much compared to other crap now. On the For You page is they make such a huge cut from it. So you add that on top of everything, and it's just, it would really hurt the small business economy. I think we would go back to, it would probably fall on a lot of Reddit dinging, as weird as that sounds, to be able to find more small business bullshit. That or people having to go back to Etsy. And I know people have mixed feelings on Etsy because of their policies have changed over the years too. So I would hate to see that. The other thing too, is that I wish it's honestly just falls on the parents, and it's not really like TikTok's fault. I wish as a whole, the parenting as a whole is really, really bad now. I mean, it's never been great. There's things and issues wrong with every generation, but like the amount of kids on TikTok that are too young to be on social media, I firmly believe that under 15 and 16 years of age is like, that's how old you should be to be on social media. That really it just messes with their head so much, especially because there's pros and cons with the TikTok algorithm. And I've done it to test, and you can do it yourself if you want. If you make an account and you put yourself down as a male on that account, it immediately starts pushing you pornographic type content or pornographic leaning content, like baiting, softcore porn and stuff like that. Obviously there's other stuff that pops up, but it really heavily pushes that. I made an alt account just to like test some things out with test uploading format and things like that back in the day. And I've even redone it a year or two ago to just test some shit. And it's every time I have to fight the algorithm because I'll put down that I'm a guy instead of a girl because like I just don't like always doing that with accounts and stuff. And yeah, it's crazy. It's really bad. So it's just like you add that on top of any radical content. It's so easy for kids to get freaking taken down that hole. And TikTok's really bad about pushing that shit. It's really, really scary. I've had people talk about it in my community. They've had to like sap themselves out of it and stop using TikTok because it just like was so horrible for them in terms of creating addictions or I mean, but on the same token, it's where I argue with myself too, is, you know, Instagram's just as bad. Like with girls, young girls, especially and stuff, they push a lot of content that promotes, yourself. Like that's terrifying. That's not good either. It's just, I guess what I'm getting at is there's a lot of bad to TikTok. There's a lot of good to TikTok, but I really feel like banning TikTok is hypocritical. They moved the servers from China to Texas. What was it, 2 years ago, because there was a complaint with national security, which I do agree with that. I really don't. I don't think they should have had the server hosting over there. But I do think they also manipulate things. But also, it's like I used to be able to go to Twitter to see some relevant posts nowadays, and I could just show you right now while we're here. If I want to see the top post of anything that's going on for trending here, I'm like, oh, okay, let's check out what's going on with Drag Race. 800 likes, 600, 9,000. Okay, why is this most liked one not at the top? Why is there a post with 93 here? Okay, 900, 1,000, 500. Like these aren't they're not putting top posts ever at the top. I would actually say this is a bit more accurate than what I normally see. Normally I'm seeing with posts with less than 100 or less than 300 likes at the top when I go to browse things. Tell me how that's like checking the top. I can't. So when it comes to news and stuff, wrong camera scene here. When it comes to news and things like that, I literally can't. I don't know what the fuck they did with Twitter's algorithm. I can't fucking find jack shit for news. The fire's going on. I had to go to TikTok. I wanted to see what was going on Twitter. It's all posts with less than 300 likes at the top. Just not really even having anything to do with the fire, but they put it in their name and their bio so it promotes their account, which makes me think that they're bot accounts. I had to go to TikTok to see anything and talk to my friends to find anything out about the fires. Or like I had to go directly to news sites, which, I mean, I feel like a lot of us, I mean, I do, if there's like specific things I wanted to look up, I'll do that. But like, Jesus Christ, I couldn't find like shit about the LA fires on just a simple Twitter search, bro. I'm getting just random shit at the top. It just makes, like, that makes no sense to me. There's got to be some form of censorship there too, that they're not organizing actual top posts at the top. Again, in my opinion, I know everybody, I feel like people want to absolutely glaze Twitter and not actually point out things that are wrong with it. Especially when it's just, again, it's being so hypocritical to TikTok. Again, I am annoyed with how I've been treated by TikTok and all this other crap, but like, we think Zuckerberg's not doing the same thing with issues. Hell, he's just admitted that they're cutting back on their moderation team because they feel like they mark things wrong half the time. Well, and they admitted that they're going to find and hound people less and deal with less reports on like CP and shit. Is that not concerning? Especially when Facebook is some of the worst on it. TikTok's really bad about it too. TikTok does not, this is another thing that frustrates me with that platform. TikTok and Facebook do not ban enough people for CP. Nowhere near enough. It's bad. It's really bad. Like, worse than what you guys know. The only reason I know is because I had to deal with some really, 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 really fucked up shit over the last 4 years. And it's bad, bro. It is really bad. The shit I've already had to deal with and others, female creators have had to deal with is bad. It's really bad for CP though. The community's way too big. There's not enough repercussions for those people. And the fact that social media platforms Facebook is admitting to stepping down on their moderation on things like that. Is that not, like, we're not going to take them to court over dealing with stuff like that? And not trying to, like you could keep the resources and just focus them in a different direction if you're so worried about freedom of speech. Right? Because CP is not freedom of speech. It's not. It's fucked. It's bad. It's horrible. I don't get it. I really don't. And the fact that our government, I feel like it's just proved without a doubt that our government is funded so much by Facebook's pocket or Meta's pocket. And it doesn't mean that there's not different products. My account's very big on Instagram too, and I'm very grateful for that. But again, it doesn't mean I need to freaking glaze them. There's things they're doing wrong that people should point out they're doing wrong. They're in Congress's pockets. Why is Facebook not getting in trouble for things? Same with Elon. Why is he not getting in trouble for things that he's doing when there's censorship issues there too, even though he says there's not? Sorry, my dog's barking. It's part of having Rottweilers. I don't get it. I really feel like what's going on is they just don't like that TikTok is not based in the United States and they're not getting money from TikTok's pockets like they are Facebook. And so, or Elon. And so, because they're not being thumbed down and they don't like I really think it's because Facebook and those guys don't like the competition. YouTube, I also feel like is really bad about it. Like YouTube's algorithm's so bad. Believe it or not, those of you, if you don't really, and I mean, you're on YouTube, so you'll probably know what I'm talking about if you're on YouTube right now, but YouTube's algorithm used to be as good as TikTok's. That is crazy to say, but it did. It really used to be that good. You used to be given good videos every single time on your front page, and they fucked it by trying to force Google Plus. It's never recovered. Why they haven't tried to fix it and do better about it, I don't know. They seem to have figured it out with YouTube Shorts. Why can't they figure it out with the regular videos? But it's just, people, I mean, inevitably what's going to happen is when TikTok goes, the reality is as a creator is you have things like this are going to happen. Things change so quick with the internet. You can't just rely on one platform. Unfortunately, I'm very fortunate that, you know, Twitch is my main income. YouTube's another big driver, and then sponsor deals, right? I don't know how people, and maybe my account's fucked. I don't fucking know. I don't know how people get less like views than me on TikTok. Don't promote TikTok Shop, but they're making thousands of dollars a month. I'm like, I'm not. I'm like maybe making $150 max. So it's like, I don't know. But anyways, that said, you should always prepare for the worst. And if you're at a point, also, I mean, this just needs to be made in a content creation video in general, because I want to update from my old one. But if tomorrow you're going to have to go back to having a real job because it puts your family in a bad position, you shouldn't be a full-time creator. If you're not saving money, you shouldn't be a full-time content creator. That you should never be putting your family in that position, because social media can go down just like that. I don't fathom. It's so irresponsible, especially when you have kids or a partner. On your own is kind of one thing, like it's your own fault, kind of like you're taking responsibility. But when have a family you're providing for, and to not be like saving on top of it, I feel like that's so irresponsible. Maybe I'm wrong for that. You guys are welcome to feel differently. Again, this is just my opinion video sort of thing, me sort of rambling type shit. But yeah, but that's, again, we're going down so many rabbit holes here. I don't understand how the Supreme Court can see this and like not, and again, I feel like our Supreme Court's lobbied too in the United States. Because why are we being so hypocritical to TikTok that we're not making the same standards for all our other social media? Why isn't this the same on YouTube? Why are we not calling YouTube out for that shit? Why aren't we dealing with Facebook with all, like, in my head, it comes down every single time because all the other companies are based in the United States and they have a thumb down on our government and they can decide what they want to do and push them to do. And meanwhile, this TikTok's based in China. And even if they're doing fucked up things, they're doing the same shit that every other platform does. Wrong. That every other platform does wrong. It's just so hypocritical to me. And I don't understand how others don't kind of slightly feel the same way. Because also, if we're thinking we don't manipulate our own media, oh boy, did we not fucking figure that out by now? Have we not all like seen the light in that a long time ago? Dick riding any news media source when it's literally all controlled by two giant companies that want to push propaganda rather than actual shit, because all their money is derived off clicks instead of actually giving you proper information. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how, like, I don't understand how people are like not awake and realizing this shit. I like, do I think it would be great for attention spans for TikTok to be on? Yeah, but like, there's so much other good shit that comes out of it. So why not just put regulations in place and solve the problem instead of just banning the fucking app? Like, it's quite simple. Oh no, Congress has to work an extra day and not fucking potbelly themselves and actually come up with a proper bill? Fuck, right? Like, you see how stupid it is? To me, like, it's stupid. They could put regulations in place that stop all platforms from doing that, and they're choosing not to. But instead, they're all agreed to ban that one app that's doing the same thing that the other platforms do. Also, our information literally gets leaked all the time from Facebook and Google. They have security breaches all the time. They sell our information. That should also be illegal. So I don't understand how when we're getting mad about our information there, when like they do the same thing. Literally Facebook and all, even our credit card companies, they sell our information to China. We're gonna act like China doesn't already have that information? Like they have it. They already fucking have it, man. There's so many other things that are creating this national security risk that's not just TikTok. I don't get it. It blows my mind. I will miss my TikTok audience. I'm very grateful for what it's done to my career. It's the reason I, have blown up so much and shit. But like, holy shit, I just don't. Just put regulations in. Just put the regulations in. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my rambling. I know this wasn't like a constructive, I set out every single point video. The ADHD rambling. I get asked this a lot on stream too, and I'm just like, I could go down this rabbit hole every single time on stream. It just gets a little repetitive. Yeah, I'm down to talk about it here or there, but like at some point I'm like, it's just easier to make a video, and then I can. Oh, I'm so sorry. Divert you over to it, and you can kind of do your research and give me your thoughts down below on things. But damn, man, I just don't get it. I also don't get people talking over the discourse of all this like TikTok ban stuff. This goes really for anything, and just not. You can have opinions and not be an asshole to other people. I really wish more creators promoted that shit too. But we live in a world where people want radical crap because that's what gets clicks. So they're encouraged to do that rather than encourage critical thinking and being a decent person and be like, hey, you can have opinions and point out things that are wrong and all this other crap. And just instead of like being a shithead, oh my god. But yeah, anyways, alas, a lot of the stuff I brought up, if you want to, you can do your own research on it. I don't want to link this shit. I just ramble, rant to you guys, talk. But yeah, so anyways, let me know your thoughts. If you're excited about the TikTok ban, if you feel differently after watching this, and yeah, all that good shit. I'll see you guys in the next video.